it's caca. Split mixing with the grabber.
Okay, so
right.
hey.
So your name again is?
My name is Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
And
Okay.
you are the one and only JB, correct?
That's right.
Yes.
What's up,
Pleasure
Brooklyn?
to meet you.
You as well.
How are you feeling today?
I'm awesome. I'm great.
You looking good, smelling good.
Thank you.
That's
Likewise.
how I like it.
See you all blingy over there.
That's the way you're
Yeah.
supposed to do it, you know? So, I researched you a little bit, but of course, I did my research, but for all the people who don't know about you, this is your time to let Toronto know who JB is. So with that being said, your camp is one of the original rap crews in Toronto.
That's right.
Can you tell us a little bit about the brand GCP and how it got started?
Yeah, so GCP was started before I was even involved with GCP. It's a crew of B-boys from Flemington Park, one of the biggest housing communities in North America. GCP was just the older guys. I grew into this little kid, seeing all the older guys. You know, if you're in New York or something, yes. It'll be the niggas on the block. Are we saying niggas out here? Are we okay with that? Or is just...
I'm cool, you cool?
All right, yeah. So it'd be the niggas on the block wearing like the MCMs and the Troop and the Bally's, like, you know, the niggas getting money, right? Yeah. But it was the B-boys. In Canada, we had two different sets. It was either you were with the Roots men, which was like most of the West Indian guys that still were kind of fresh, so we call them roots, man. They still only listen to reggae. They didn't like hip hop at all. And then back in the day, it was a little separation like that at one point. But GCP was a group of b-boys, the fly niggas in the park. And then I was a little kid, grew up into that. They allowed me. I was doing rap before GCP. It was with one of the founders of hip hop here in Canada named S Blank of Self Defense. Okay. So S Blank used to produce for Maestro and Be Cool and a whole bunch of other guys. And they took me under their wing when I was about 12 or 13 years old. And they allowed me to perform and travel with them, doing big shows like O'Keefe Center, which is now Sony Theater, Mel Lastman Square, other big venues. They always allowed me to be a part of what they were doing. So when I grew a little bit older now, I wanted to do things my own because they kind of slowed down. The older guys in the park were doing their thing, State of Mind. And I needed a place. I had a group too young to handle, but we're also young that sometimes, most of the time, a lot of guys weren't even allowed to go out and do certain things, right? So I was fortunate, so I just had to keep on going. My engine wasn't stopping. So, you know, I just seen some of the older guys on the block. They took a real liking to me because we're obviously all family anyways. But for the music stuff, they really believed in me. And they told me, you take the name GCP and use that for your music. Yeah, and we all got your back type of thing, right? So then that's where GCP. GCP is originally Guilty Crown Posse. We turned that to Guilty Crown Productions. Ooh. And we started releasing music from that, and we started a whole new wave. We were considered like the Wu-Tang of Canada. Because we had, like, on the first album, we had 29 guys on the album, 24 songs, right? And we did it real easy, and we did it with no help, all independent. We did a lot of life-changing things, sorry. Okay. Back in those days, we were the first ones to get P&D agreements, and then that opened the door for all the other independent acts to follow after us. Before that, you had to be signed with a major label. Okay. There's no other way, right? So we opened the doors for the P&D through Nuff Entertainment. They only dealt with reggae and calypso at the time, and they opened the doors for us, and they allowed us to do a P&D deal with them. And we're in all the major retailers, and that's what set us apart from any other guys just from the street, is that we were in every single HMV, Sam the Record Man, or Music World across Canada. Okay. Yeah, and that's GCP, and then, you know, we birthed a lot of street hip-hop culture in Canada.
That's dope. That's amazing. I know about Flemington Park as well.
Okay.
I grew up in Finch, and a couple of my friends are from Region and stuff, so I know about all those areas.
So you know what's up.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
So there has been a few changes, of course, in the Toronto rap scene. Yeah. Would you like to tell us the difference between back then and the rap game now?
Well, everything back then was a lot more physical. So you had to physically mail records or CDs to get it to the DJs. There was no MP3s being sent out. You had to go buy physical reel-to-reels to go record. There wasn't just like a CD or You know, like even that was after the dad tapes and all of that. But when I came in, it was reel to reels. Like, you know, you had to have enough money to even buy that reel, and then make sure that you're good enough to spit on that reel to, you know, before it got wasted, because you only had a few takes on that shit. There was no erasing and record all the time. So the difference then and now is everything is a little bit more physical. We had to put a little bit more work in back in the day, but now the music is great, and now it is. Likely you still have to put in a lot of work to get promoted and to get out to a large fan base. And times change. Everything is different from back then till now. So I'm not one of those people. I love the new generation. I embrace it. I've put out a lot of new young artists, like Jazz Cartier has come out through the GCP camp. And right now we got Kaka ready to drop. And we got a lot of other artists too that we've been working with from the stateside and across the world. But I love the new generation. I love everything that's popping right now.
That's great. So, for those who don't know, how would you describe your style, your rap?
Me, like, as I was a kid, they always used to call me like this ghetto flows, like the ghetto child. Like, I keep it straight and straightforward for you. I ain't trying to do too much crazy shit, but I just make sure that you can understand what I'm saying and bring that street motivational stuff to you.
That's great.
Yeah.
Who have you collaborated in the past, and who would you like to collaborate in the near future?
Well, some of my biggest features in the past have been with The Game, Nicole Ray. I've done features with J.R. Ryder from Dipset, Drew from In Essence, that's now, I guess, one of Canada's leading R&B singers. We have a huge hit that we have that's continuously played on all the reality shows like the VH1, Love and Hip Hop's, Bad Girls Clubs. So we have a song called Ayo, and that's available on iTunes and Spotify.
You know what's crazy? I was just about to ask you about your collaboration with The Game.
What you're about to see ain't your typical love story. The word love, often confused with infatuation, could be a dangerous feeling, especially for a dude from the streets. With it comes deceit, jealousy, envy, and the best of friends can easily become the worst of enemies. I knew it from that day in the park when I met you.
Yeah, I'm addicted to it. I can tell by your pearl handle, you know how to treat a thug. I see the fire in your eyes.
Your big single that you guys had, Fire in Your Eyes.
Yeah.
What made you guys decide you guys wanted to come up with that concept, and how did you come about doing that collaboration with Game?
Yeah, so we're on tour across Canada. And we're just talking about a collab throughout the tour. We're somewhere like in Scotia or New Brunswick or something like that, and they agreed. They kind of caught my vibe throughout the tour. They see how much love I was getting, because if you know The Game, he doesn't have songs with nobody else out here like that. You know what I'm saying? So they got wind to the vibe and the energy. Like when Game first met me, I came out with a full-length Sherling in Winnipeg. You know what I'm saying? They were like, who the hell is this nigga? Like, you know what I'm saying? So they had to come meet me. You know what I'm saying? So I always kept it on that level, like, because we've never been begging nobody for nothing. We've always been heavy in the game. And if once he decided he wanted to be, wanted to do a song, I went to my main producers was Tone Mason, my homie Lucius from Tone Mason.
Nice.
Yeah, mad cool. Gave me a beat, we gave him a couple choices, and I was really surprised that he chose that one. It was like honestly the last choice that we thought he would have chose. And then the song that he did over, the verse that he did over, has never been duplicated by him ever. Like he's never done a verse that was that heartfelt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To this day, and we're real proud to be able to have that. The Black Wall Street at the time, the guys tried to steal it, and we had to kind of put a stop on that. We had to make some calls and shit to the niggas in Philly and make sure that they stopped doing whatever that they thought that they could do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you see right after that, you know what I'm saying? There wasn't no more Black Wall Street, really was there. I don't even think Game ever came back into Canada after that.
No, I don't.
Yeah, not into Toronto.
He hasn't been back.
The last time he was supposed to come and clarify that too, at a show through my homies Neil and them guys at Substance Entertainment. And he just couldn't make it across the border. They wouldn't let him into the country. It was for the Red Tour.
Oh, okay.
I think the gang violence thing, the police didn't like it, so they kind of stopped the whole tour.
So, this question I know a lot of people probably ask you, but I'm Brooklyn and it's different. So, who are your top 10 artists, rap artists?
Top 10?
Top 5.
Okay.
Dead or alive?
For me, I'm like Chuck D, Ice Cube, Well, I grew up on that. It's very revolutionary for me. I'm a very strong-minded person, you know. So it really took a liking to that. I listen to everything so much that there's not one particular person that I really love like that. I'm very competitive as well, so I always thought that I was better than a lot of rappers.
I like that.
Growing up.
I like that.
So I was never really nobody's fan. You know what I'm saying? Rather than just like I like their music, you know. Like I like Jay-Z's new stuff right now. It's very motivational for me. I like a lot of artists. I never had a top 5 before ever in my life.
Okay, well, we'll keep them in suspense with the 2 that we have.
I'll throw them in randomly throughout the interview.
Well, that's even
if
better.
they come to mind.
Okay, so what has been your motivation or your inspiration? What has motivated you and inspired you to do what you do?
My motivation has been my children, just making sure that I do something that they could see and aspire to do as well. And another motivation is just I don't like being idle and not doing nothing. I always got to do something. So yeah, just my inspiration is just seeing music. I just love music in every form, and I'm one of the genuine music lovers of this world. It's a part of me, and it always will be.
That's so dope. So could you describe how it was meeting hip-hop legends like Jay-Z and Kid Capri? That must have been amazing, meeting those 2.
Oh wow, you really know about that. I didn't actually meet them. We were just all in the same room.
Oh!
Yeah, I was like 15 years old, 16 years old. We came off the turf and we heard that Kid Capri was down there.
How did you feel like being in the same room?
So that's one of the inspirations that, like, seeing Jay-Z at that point, so humble, because he was literally just standing at the DJ booth with Kid Capri. There was no security anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, we're in the Holiday Inn on King Street, you know, in an open room. So seeing that and then seeing how he was perceived afterwards, like on radio or on mixtapes, it made me know that everything is real and anything could be possible, right?
Yeah.
And I come from an area of celebrities in our own right. Like I told you, like our own hood was producing already Maestro and those guys.